It was only Western Kentucky, but did Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe show massive progression from 2023 to 2024? Stick around, folks. It's your favorite sports talk show, Way Offsides. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Welcome to a Way Offsides pop-up. Today, we're going to talk about Alabama's quarterback position. Of course, we're talking about none other than the guy, the meal ticket, J-Money, Jalen Milroe. But before we do that, we got to pay some bills. And by paying bills, I mean, we need you guys to like, subscribe, do all the things, hit the notification bell, comment, engage with us. Send this video to your boss and be like, hey, boss, check these guys out. Fill out your PTO request and put this in the comment section. Put the hyperlink in the comment section. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Actually, yes, do it. Anyway, Jalen Milroe. Alabama coming off of a huge victory, 63 points against a previously 8-5 team from last year who is likely going to win their conference in Conference USA. Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, led by once D1 quarterback, TJ Finley, who quarterbacked at LSU and at Auburn before going to Texas State, and then to Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers. What the hell is a Hilltopper anyway? What is it? Anyway, I digress. Jalen Milroe looked amazing. So good in his week 1 debut. I thought so, at least. I will say it was a little shaky for a minute. Little shaky. But Milroe, being the silent professional that he is, came along in the end. You know what he did? My boy Jay Millie threw for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns on only 9 attempts. And not only that, on 10 carries, he rushed for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. We all know Millie can run. We all know Jalen Milroe is a runner. But the question has been, is he a quarterback? I will preface everything by saying this. Jalen Milroe, his deep ball game has never been in question for me. Jalen Milroe has one of the best, most accurate, and beautiful deep balls in the country. If you don't believe me, go watch him get licked and throw a touchdown pass against Ole Miss last year. Beautiful. If you don't believe me, go watch 4th and 31. Shout out all our Auburn viewers last year to Mr. I forgot his name. Once you're done, we'll wait on you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back from watching those videos. You see what I'm talking about, don't you? Jalen Milroe. The questions around Jalen Milroe have always been since last year, since he started. Can he improve in his read progressions and throwing the short to intermediate balls? I will say he overthrew a couple of them this game. He wasn't entirely accurate at first, but he calmed himself down. You could tell Milroe gets a little hype, especially on home games, man. He gets like really hyped during home games. He misses that wheel route out of the backfield a lot. He overthrows it a lot. And a lot of that's just, it's not an easy throw, but it's hype. But I want to point out the fact that a lot of what Milroe did through the air, he only threw the ball 9 times, and he completed 7 of those passes. 2 of those passes were huge passes to stellar, sensational star freshman Ryan Williams, only 17 years old, who had 139 yards and 2 touchdowns on 2 receptions. Bonkers. But something that Coach Kalen DeBoer pointed out Monday morning when talking about the Western Kentucky game was that both of those throws to Ryan Williams were not his number 1 option on those plays. They were likely the 3rd and 4th options on said plays. And if you will back and went back and watched just to make sure it's not a little bit of coach speak to hype Millie up. And yes, you see Milroe going through his progressions. Why did he do that? Why was he able to do that so well all of a sudden? Offensive line. Shout out offensive line. Offensive line gave him time. We said this all last year. Alabama's biggest problem last year was their offensive line. And they needed to mesh and gel. And if Jalen Milroe trusts that offensive line, trusts his play callers, which he says he has, says he trusts his play callers, they're putting him in positions to succeed. If Jalen Milroe trusts those people, which he did not last year, then he is primed to succeed. Now, keep in mind with that terrible offensive line, I'm not calling the individual players terrible. There was just, I don't know if it was coaching, what happened. It just never gelled. Okay. It never gelled. We saw that the past couple of years with Alabama. Their offensive line just got worse and worse and worse. There was no consistency during games. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know. It was nasty. There was one game not long ago. I think it was the USF game where you guys were saying that the offensive line was laying down because they were protesting that Jalen Milroe got benched. I doubt that was the case. But for those of you who are like, I've never been bad about Alabama's offensive line. Yes, you have. You have been critical. We all have. And that's okay because they weren't what we are accustomed to at Alabama the past couple of years. And that was why Alabama hasn't won a national championship in 3 years. That's why, or 3 seasons, including this one. That's definitely why. But back to Jalen Milroe. That offensive line is gelling, which we think it is. And that's without Caden Proctor. And look, I get it. It's Western Kentucky, but they brought pressure. They were trying to go after Jalen Milroe. They were trying to affect him. And I think they did at first until he calmed himself down. The offensive line started gelling and blocking. And he found time to go through these progressions. He wasn't bailing out of the pocket. He was moving around, moving with the pocket. He was comfortable. Back hitch, go through those progressions. Boom. It was a sight to behold. I would like to remind you all that Jalen Milroe finished sixth in Heisman voting last year. 6th. And I get it. Alabama's got a tough schedule. They got a tough schedule. We got to go to Wisconsin in 2 weeks. We host Georgia. We got Tennessee, LSU, Auburn, Oklahoma. Got to go to Oklahoma. Not saying that Oklahoma is going to beat Alabama, but that's not going to be a cakewalk. I believe we're going to Kyle Field. I think I have to check. But anyway, Jalen Milroe, if he continues to do what he did against Western Kentucky, he's obviously going to get more attempts as the season goes on. If he's able to do and maintain that completion percentage, as well as those explosive plays that he had against Western Kentucky throughout the season, Milroe is going to be in New York. Milroe, dare I say, could be a first-round quarterback. And I get it. If you're not wearing crimson, you're probably laughing at me right now, and that is okay. But you won't be laughing when you have to play the kid. You won't be laughing if you got to line up against him. You won't be laughing if the offensive line's gelling and the play calling's on par, which it is. And what should scare you is what you saw against Western Kentucky is just a drop in the hat, man. It's just that's nothing compared to what Alabama's going to put together as a progressive offensive. Washington last year. I watched a lot of Washington football last year. Our good friend Jake Merrill will probably agree with me. He played at Washington. Some things, Alabama's going to progressively add to these route trees, and things are just going to progress as the season goes on, and that offense gets a little more complicated. A lot of shifts and motion pre-snap that are going to be implemented. Watch out for Kendrick Law. We all know what Ryan Williams is going to do. And I know Caleb Odom was playing with the 2s, but just wait. Just wait. And then E-Man, if E-Man keeps blocking like he's blocking out there, we see you. Shout out Emmanuel Henderson. We saw that, bro. And then you combine that run game as well as Jalen Milroe's legs. This offense is in position to do something very special this year. And we'll talk about the defense later, but that's no slouch either. I could just be getting ahead of myself and really excited because of how good they looked against Western Kentucky. But going back last year, you can see in their opener, there were some glaring inconsistencies that I did not see after the first quarter against Western Kentucky. And that is very exciting, especially since everybody wrote us off. So, yes, is Jalen Milroe progressing from 2023? Absolutely. Is he in a better position to succeed compared to 2023? Yes. Does he have the right coaching staff? You better believe it. Will he get better as the season goes on? Yep. You guys don't throw him. Don't throw him to the wolves the first time he makes a mistake. He's going to throw a pick. Probably going to throw a couple to Georgia. That game's probably going to have him hype, shook up a little bit. He's going to have to calm himself. But he's beat him before. Jalen Milroe, I still believe, will be your Heisman Trophy winner and a potential first-round draft pick. That's all we got. Before you leave, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the notification bell. If you're watching on any other kind of social media, head over to YouTube and do that for us, please. We really appreciate it. We love you. We love our Alabama fans. We love our other fan bases too, but Alabama fans, you know the drill. Y'all hold a very special place in our heart. But that's all I've got for tonight. Say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide.